Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America. And could J.D. Vance be replaced as Trump's vice presidential pick? That's the scuttlebutt right now in Washington, D.C. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. J.D. Vance was never my choice for vice president. You guys know that I'm a Tim Scott guy. I'm a Marco Rubio guy, but I'm really a Tim Scott guy. And that was my pick. That being said, J.D. Vance is now the vice presidential pick, and I think he's a great guy. But the media is pulling out every old quote, every controversial thing he's ever said, and pressure is mounting, and there's been some talk that Trump is considering replacing him as his partner, as his vice presidential pick. Well, somebody who Trump did not keep in his administration very long, and who he fired pretty quickly, is actually talking about it. And he's among those people that believe that J.D. Vance will be replaced. I got to be honest, I don't think Trump will replace Vance. I don't. But I'm not saying it's impossible. And if they did, it might not be a horrible thing. I love Vance, but his cat lady comments are very problematic. And I worry about that with the female vote. And, I'm sure it was taken, out of context or whatever. But they're problematic. We have to be honest. One thing about, guys, I'm not going to just sit here and rah-rah cheerlead. I'm going to tell you the truth because you need to hear it. You need to hear it. You don't need somebody to just tell you everything's great. You can get that on cable news. What I'm going to give you is facts. Those comments made by J.D. Vance are going to play in a loop during this election because Kamala Harris needs the women vote. She needs it desperately. So, and she'll get, I think, the majority of it, but it's how much she gets of it that matters. It's now about margins. And J.D. Vance, he could drag on that for Trump, who I think was making great headway with female voters. This could be an issue. I don't know, but I want you to hear what this man has to say, and then let me know what you think in the comments.
Maybe he thought those were compliments. Listen, he didn't go with Nikki Haley. When he loses the election and they do the post obituary of the election and they're in the morgue looking at the body of the lost election, they'll say, wow, that was a terrible mistake not to go with Nikki Haley. He could have appealed to a broader base of people, to women, to more independents, but he didn't. He went hard MAGA. He went with a strange guy that's very dull on stage. And, Trump hates that. You covered him in the White House. I work with him in the White House. There's nothing that Trump hates more than dull people. And, JD, I think, stands for just dull. And so he is not doing well on the stump for Donald Trump. He's hurting him. The memes on social media are killing him. The net negatives are terrible for the vice president. The vice president in a Trump campaign is supposed to get out of the way. And he has become an issue for Donald Trump. So, he could have picked Nikki Haley or he could have picked somebody, but Trump is such a narcissist. He didn't want anybody taking credit for his electoral success. He didn't want somebody on CNN saying, yeah, he won that and Nikki Haley helped him. And so he picked J.D. Vance, and now he's got to live, at least for now, with this millstone on his neck. I mean, he may or may not make it to November 5th, J.D. Vance.
You think Trump could maybe replace him?
I do. Yes. I mean, that's what The Apprentice is all about, Caitlin. Of course, I've had that experience with Donald Trump. I do think he could. It's just a question of how many Scaramucci's JD is going to last. Well, we've got the shot clock on right now.
Okay. Well, I think he technically counts as being at 1 at the moment. I think today may be day 11. We'll